Year is 1692. We are standing on the edge of the North American wilderness, where the forest meets the sea. The air is biting cold, carrying the sharp scent of wood smoke and the salt of the Atlantic. This is Salem. Using historical records and AI reconstruction, we strip away the modern pavement and the centuries of mythology. We reveal the settlement as it truly was, a fragile collection of wooden structures struggling against the harsh New England elements. There is no dramatic music here. We are simply observers stepping into a community on the brink of fracture. We walk these muddy paths to understand a world where the boundary between the physical and the spiritual was impossibly thin. Our journey begins in Salem Village, miles inland from the harbor. We approach a modest timber-framed house with a central chimney. This is the parsonage of Rev. Samuel Pares. Inside, the rooms are dim. The floorboards are rough, hewn pine. In the kitchen, the fire burns constantly against the winter chill. It is here, in the long, dark evenings of January, that the trouble begins quietly. There is no shouting yet, only strange behaviors that the local doctor cannot explain. Outside, the snow is deep, isolating the house. The fear starts here, in the domestic silence, before it ever reaches the court. We move down the frozen lane to the center of civic life. It is a plain, unpainted barn modified for worship. In March, this freezing space becomes a courtroom. Visualize the breath of the crowd visible in the cold air. Neighbors stare at neighbors. The air is thick with the smell of damp wool. When the accusations are screamed out, the sound echoes off the bare timber walls. The confusion is palpable. For the observers in the back rows, the scene is terrifying. This is where private suspicion turns into public hysteria. We leave the village and travel southeast along the rutted dirt path toward Salem town. The landscape changes from scattered farms to the architectural ambition of the merchant class. We stop before a large, imposing residence with a black facade and sharp gables. This is the home of Judge Jonathan Corwin. We step inside. The ceilings are low, the beams heavy and dark. The leaded glass admits little light. In these rooms, the law tries to make sense of the invisible. The judge sits by the fire, quill in hand. The scratching of the pen records the testimony that will condemn 19 people. The house feels rigid and permanent, a stark contrast to the chaos unraveling outside. A short distance away stands a small, foul-smelling wooden structure. We do not need to enter to understand the horror. Dozens of people are crammed into this tiny space, shackled in heavy iron. They pay for their own food, or they starve. The darkness inside is absolute. Here, the spiritual battle becomes a physical endurance test against cold and disease. Many will die within these walls before they ever reach the gallows, victims of the winter as much as the verdict. We follow the cart path out of town to a rocky, windswept ledge overlooking the bay. This is the final destination. There is no grand scaffold, just the limbs of trees and the rough ground. From here, one can see the ocean. The wind blows unobstructed. The silence of the crowd is heavy as they witness the end of the tragedy. It is a bleak, gray landscape witnessing a grim conclusion. We pull back now. The wooden houses fade, replaced by modern streets. The sounds of 1692 are lost to the noise of the present, but the rocky ground remains. We leave Salem not with a judgment, but with the quiet memory of a winter when fear reshaped reality.